Hey everyone, so I'm often asked why I mulch with hay, and there's good reason for it. Check it out. So if you look at any of my gardens, you're gonna notice that there's hay mulch down, except for in that spot, and we'll get to that in a second. And I get a lot of questions, why is it that I use hay in all of my gardens? Well, there's a few reasons. I've used landscape fabric before to combat the weeds, and I didn't like the way it worked. Number one, it kind of just seemed to deplete the soil. Maybe water wasn't getting down through it properly. Nutrients weren't able to get down through it properly. I'm not sure. It just didn't perform well from that extent. On top of that, you didn't really get to connect with the land. But hay, like landscape fabric, forms a barrier that new seedlings have a very hard time getting through. So it does great in terms of weed prevention. Beyond that, the hay stops the splashback from the dirt down at the bottom. So you don't get a bunch of dirt on your leaves and on your fruits and your vegetables that ends up just rotting things. Also, unlike any landscape fabric or any of these artificial covers, hay breaks down, and it breaks down very slowly, but as it breaks down, it feeds the soil underneath it. So it's feeding my plants every time I put it down. And then on top of that, you have the moisture retention. So hay holds a lot of moisture in it. Beyond that, it holds the moisture in the soil underneath it, and it protects that soil from heat. So it just makes a great all-around mulch. Now there's a fifth reason, and this may not pertain to you. I know farmers, and knowing farmers, a lot of times they tend to overbuy hay. And when they do, it sits and it becomes less than feed grade. They can't feed their animals with it, so they have nothing to do with it. And every once in a while, I'll get something like that, big hay bale, dropped off. And that hay bale will last me probably a year or two. Beyond mulch, I can use it for compost. It's just a very versatile tool. So that's why I use hay in my gardens. Happy growing, my friends. Oh yeah, and there's that bare spot we talked about. I just realized it when I was editing this video. Here's why. As I mentioned earlier, hay will stop seeds from wanting to pop up. Well, the seeds will want to pop up, but they'll have a hard time breaking through. And if you look right there, you'll see the first of my honeydew vines that are gonna pop up here. So I'm gonna let them germinate, and then I'll put the mulch around them.